is up, everyone? Welcome in. Yo, what is up, Jaws? Hell yeah. So happy to see you in chat. So happy to see you on my Instagram page every day, honestly. Hope everyone is doing well. It is Wednesday, July 26th. June, I'm dumb. We're getting it. Alright. So yeah, situated here. But welcome in, everyone. We have warehouses to cover. I am like all over the place. Hold on, let's just watch this real quick because I'm so outraged. Not outraged. I just don't know what. Let's watch CBS LA. Sorry, I didn't even do the things in the chat. Drop some little emojis in the chat. We can have the little kitties in the box. Yeah, there we go. I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome in. My name is Angelina Tucci. We are going to be covering San Bernardino County, city of Fontana, a couple of other cities. It's apparently a big project. Um, but yeah, let's watch this real quick and get ourselves acquainted. Also, Bashon in a box. Nice to see you.
Solution to solving the homeless crisis in the Inland Empire.
And our Zach Boetta tells us it involves using something the IE is known for.
Yep.
We're talking about a warehouse.
No. He said the IE is only known for warehouses. No.
Semi-trucks going in and out of Inland Empire warehouses for big business are not a new sight. Well, now a group of IE cities and San Bernardino County are turning one warehouse into a regional homeless center.
We are addressing the homeless
there
situation.
she is. Okay. Oh, hold on. Damn, they got Warehouse Warren in the building. We got Warehouse Warren in the warehouse. What I kind of saw today, well, shout out to the homies, everyone who DM'd me about this. But I saw little Jesse Armendariz. He was so excited to post this. He was so excited. Look at him. He is on ABC7 News. He is living his best life. He's so little. I just can't get over how little he is. So yeah, the same warehouse. That's crazy. They set it up in this spot, and that was it. All right, let's continue.
In our county.
Instead of trucks and forklifts, Bernardino County are turning one warehouse into a regional homeless center.
We are addressing the homeless situation in our county.
Instead of trucks and forklifts working out of this South Fontana warehouse, San Bernardino County, along with 7 local cities, will fill this space with 200 beds and health services for people hoping to get help and get off the streets.
Everything they need to be successful to get a pathway to a home will be in this facility.
San Bernardino County's most recent homeless count shows there are nearly 2,500 unsheltered homeless across the county, down about 200 from last year, but county officials say they need more space and resources.
I don't believe it. We only have 3,000 people in the entire county that are homeless. They must have not done really good at the county. I don't know, brother. I know how the county counts the homeless people. They literally call it the point and count. And to me, that sounded kind of like, why would we accept this in any other form of reconciling or calculating things for government? But okay, we just do 1, 2, 3, like that's crazy, but okay.
To make a greater impact, and they believe the West End Regional Navigation Center will do just that.
There's a lack of beds throughout the county, and we're the largest geographic county in the United States. So we need to have that capacity.
Although Project Navigation Center will do just that.
There's a lack of beds throughout the county, and we're the largest
Assistant Executive Officer, San Bernardino County. Diane Rundles, hold on. New challenger has entered. Diane Rundles. Oh, she's the CAO. Ugh, just say she's the chief communication officer or whatever. Oh, county administrative office. Stupid. Yeah. I only remember this because when you work in the county, all you do is acronyms all day long, okay? CAO, SAP, ARMC, SAT, PSA, all of this, it's a lot, okay? ASMR, yes. So, okay, so yeah, so this lady, Diane Rundles, let's check out her bio. Bashona in a box throwing monkeys into the chat? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Hell yeah. Thank you. Where what? Oh yeah. Okay. Diane Rundles has been employed for all right. No, we're good. Diane Rundles has been employed for San Bernardino County. You mean employed with San Bernardino County since May of 2019 as Assistant Executive Officer. She oversees community development and housing, Office of Homeless Services, behavioral health, public health, and the Performance Education and PERC. See, there you go, another freaking acronym, PERC. Diane has over 16 years of experience in human resources and 24 years working in various government organizations. Of course, she's a human resources. Diane possesses a master's degree in business administration and previously lectured as an adjunct professor at local universities. Her drive towards continuous improvement, nimble problem-solving skills, okay, and her passion for making a difference makes her very effective change agent and valuable resource to San Bernardino County. Okay, so she's a senior executive. I see. Chad? Who is this guy named Chad, brother? Chad Hottingham began his career at San Bernardino County in 2000 and currently serves as executive, blah, blah, blah. Works. What departments does he oversee? Chad served as deputy executive officer with more than 25 years public service. Whatever. All right, let's go back to now we know who Diane Rundles is.
Geographic county in the United States. So we need to have that capacity.
Yeah, he's not
Although project leaders say there will be 24-hour security and higher fire safety standards, businesses nearby say they still have their concerns.
This isn't like a downtown Skid Row type mission where you can just walk in and walk out for food. This is a very specific housing service program.
Each person must have a referral to get a bed. You can't just walk in, and each of the local cities involved will be able to refer homeless to the Fontana location, meaning people from all over the IE will come here for help. But city officials say the surrounding streets will stay tent-free and safety measures will be top priority.
We're going to have this building constructed as if we were staying here ourselves.
In Fontana,
she said, we're going to have this building constructed as if we were staying here ourselves. All right. Challenge accepted, I'd say. Stay there yourself. Stay there overnight, Mayor Aquanetta Warren, Mayor Fontana. Stay in one of the homeless shelters overnight. Like, is it really going to be up to that standard? I don't know, man.
Fontana, Zach Boetto, CBS LA.
Wow. Crazy. Here, let's see.
Warehouse into a regional homeless center. We're here in the news truck in Fontana. As you can see, Gus is back there editing. But we just got done talking with Fontana's mayor and a San Bernardino County homeless coordinator about this whole plan.
We are addressing the homeless situation in our county.
What's really interesting is that there are 7 cities that are going in on this warehouse together, including the county, San Bernardino County. The 7 cities are Chino, Fontana, Montclair, Ontario, Rancho Cucamonga, Rialto, and Upland. They're all investing in the warehouse, its development, its operations, and they can all send people who need help to this homeless center.
There's a lack of bed.
Is people of Fontana okay with that? Like, I don't know, man. Like, each city should kind of try to take care of its own, but all right.
Throughout the county, and we're the largest geographic county in the United States. So we need to have that capacity.
It's expected to have 200 beds, and it's going to have what they call wraparound services inside of this warehouse.
Everything they need to be successful to get a pathway to a home will be in this facility.
They're expecting this homeless center to be ready for operations in about 8 to 12 months, so it won't be ready until 2027. But once it is ready, they're hoping that this regional homeless center can be
a positive hub for the Inland Empire where people can get off the streets, go get help, get clean, and find permanent housing and really turn their lives around.
Bro.
We're going to have this building constructed as if we were staying here ourselves.
The warehouse is in an industrial
Yeah. Oh damn. Okay. That's all who they had there.
park in South Fontana. The city leaders and the county leaders say that it's not going to have any impact on the businesses surrounding this warehouse. But those businesses do have their concerns. They talked to us off camera about 24-hour security for their businesses.
Yeah.
They want to make sure that there aren't tents in the industrial plaza where they all work. And city leaders say that they won't have to worry about those issues.
This isn't like a downtown Skid Row type mission where you can just
Crazy. I'm gonna read some comments now from this post. I find it hard to believe she's doing any of this out of the goodness of her heart. I give it months before something bad happens. I mean, EPS, ICE, or military bad, and not all railroad tracks get. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this is how LA gets rid of their homeless crisis. Mayor Bass and Aquanet are are working together. No way. Someone said LA isn't involved, but like that looks like a freaking AI person, bro. This looks like an AI ass account. Okay. Oh hell no. We don't need this near our homes and our children. Send them up to North Fontana. Why does it always have to be shoveled down to South Fontana? That's what I'm saying. More money that disappears into political pockets rather than solving the real problems, that of mental health and drug addiction. Fixing the homeless situation equals bottomless pit for the graft and fraud. Yeah. Someone said, okay, what's your plan? Yeah. Yeah. See, a lot of people do not understand. Sorry, this is another freaking AI profile. Oh, that's where they relocated San Julian folks before before the Olympics. That sucks. The homeless don't care. They have social security and get it sent to family nearby and then stay on the streets and go pick it up once a month with their food stamps. Go talk to the homeless. They'll always say they don't have anything, but they do, and they have lawyers represent them too. I mean, have the mayors go without cameras with police and just talk and just them and go talk to them. They don't care about no shelter. They'll burn it down just so they can keep. That's so stupid. The homeless veterans that don't get help from the VA are the ones who appreciate no problem. Nobody will ever fix the homeless problem because you can't in America. I mean, yep. Money won't last forever. Cut them off. Someone said you're complete foolish. Well then why not just put them in North Fontana again? Damn. Hilarious. All right. Crazy. So yeah, whoops. Um crazy stuff. I don't think anyone responded to my comments. You hitting comments? Someone said DM me. Yeah, so someone said, so this is essentially the same thing as CityLink Outreach Community Center on Citrus and Arrow, the same building sitting just down the street from rows of trash sidewalks and RVs, now being rebranded as the West End Navigation Center. Funny how these ribbon cutting moments always seem to show up when election season rolls around. Yeah. I don't know, man. Okay. Um, yeah, I think that's it as far as I can find about this. Let's see, West and homeless shelter.
The homeless crisis in the Inland Empire. For a new solution to solving the homeless crisis in the Inland Empire.
And
All right, all right. Let's whoops. Let's read this. It's old. Um, but let's go. Okay, San Bernardino County is shoehorning West End cities into utilizing Fontana Homeless Navigation Center. San Bernardino County, according to a survey conducted early this year, has at least 3,837 people who have no roof over their heads within its 20,000, blah, 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 whatever, appearing to make significant strides in readdressing the social scourge of homelessness. At various points over the last decade or so, at least 4 of the county's 24 municipalities and the county government itself has taken the lead in the effort to reclaim the lives and dignity of the region's destitute. Not surprisingly, those entities consistently must involve or consistently most involved in that effort have included San Bernardino, Fontana, Victorville, 3 of the 5 places in the county where the problem of those living on the streets or under what are very dire circumstances is most pronounced. Yo, what is up, Stardust City Hag? It's good to see you. Hope you are doing well. Recently, Fontana has found itself in the lead once more. Somewhat ironically, however, it has drawn criticism from officials in the other San Bernardino County jurisdictions for the intensity in which it has met the homelessness challenge head on. Even as the cities, those officials critical of Fontana have shrunk from dealing with the homelessness challenge. In San Bernardino, there are 5 comprehensive homeless shelters. Only 5. Interesting. One is Mary's Haven, a 12 to 24-month transitional living program for displaced women and young children. Another is Mary's Village, which features 85 beds for homeless men and which is run by the same Catholic social service missionaries who operate Veronica's Home for Mercy 1 and Veronica's Home of Mercy 2, each providing 40 beds and other support and social services for homeless women. Another is the former All Star Lodge, which was converted by the County of San Bernardino in conjunction with the state of California's Home Key program into 76 single and 2-bedroom units that provide interim and permanent housing for individuals and families. Using Home Key funds and matching city money, the city of Redlands partnered with Step Up on Second, a Santa Monica based nonprofit, to take possession of the former Goodnight Inn and convert its 98 hotel room into a mini living quarters, complete with kitchenettes and bathrooms to house and support various individual homeless or homeless couples. In December 2023, the city of Victorville opened the Victorville Wellness Center, a 26,000 square foot, 107 bed facility on 4.5 acres, which features 110 separate, variably sized units, including single, double, and 5 family shelters. 53 of the units are dedicated to recuperative care. Elements of the shelter include a dog kennel, an industrial kitchen, a cafeteria, recreation sports courts, community event spaces, and a community garden. In Fontana, the city opened a 120-bed homeless shelter that had been converted from the Sure Stay hotel located blah blah blah. Okay, that's a lot. So this breaks down all the different uh buildings that are there for the homeless. Deputy City Manager Phil Burnham. The units will become permanent rather than temporary housing for those accepted to live there, including individuals, couples, and families. Subsequent to Fontana making a commitment towards construction and the navigation center, it is entered into a dialogue with San Bernardino County about financing for the project, as well as arrangements for its operation upon completion. At some point, San Bernardino County officials agreed to invest $20 million into a 200-bed facility, expanding its range of services, repurposing it from a simple temporary housing of the homeless to devoting about half of its beds to what is termed a recuperative medical care. What does that even mean, bro? Okay. This agreement came with the proviso that Fontana, while continuing to use the navigation center to take the dispossessed living within its city limits, would also accept homeless from other communities on the west end of the county. This was to entail the name of the facility being changed from Fontana Navigation Center to West End Navigation Center. The arrangement also meant that the opening of the facility was to be postponed from spring 2026 until December 2026. And that's where we are. And let's see. They announced that they're doing it. Okay. The warehouse conversion will serve as a homeless outreach wellness center offering transitional and emergency housing. Will cater to multiple cities in the area and be managed by San Bernardino County Homeless Service Division employees. Under the deal cut with the county, the yearly operating cost for the facility projected to be around $3 million. Bro, $3 million were to be shared by the county and the cities on a prorated basis, depending on the number of homeless each diverts to the facility. Welcome in, DV8. Yes, it's not more warehouses, and apparently we have our favorite Jesse Armendariz and Mayor Aquanetta Warren going and turning warehouse into this big homeless shelter that all of the cities like it's not just homeless for Fontana, it's City of Rancho, Upland, Montclair, and I forget which the other one was. They're all going to send their people, the homeless people, to this shelter. Here,
Now at 4, a new solution to solving the homeless crisis in the Inland Empire.
And our Zach Boetta tells us it involves using something the IE is known for.
Yep.
We're talking about a warehouse.
Semi-trucks going in and out of Inland Empire warehouses for big business are not a new sight. Well, now a group of IE cities and San Bernardino County are turning one warehouse into a regional homeless center.
We are addressing the homeless situation in our county.
Instead of trucks and forklifts working out of this South Fontana warehouse, San Bernardino County, along with
Okay, hold on. Cities of Chino, Fontana, Montclair, Ontario, Rancho Cucamonga, Rialto, and Upland will contribute to the startup cost and annual operating expenses, and the county will leverage federal and state funding to reimburse the cost of services. Yeah, DVA said warehouses into homeless shelter. They need homes. You know, they are homeless. Yeah, they don't need a warehouse home. Oh my God. So yeah, it's just like, let's go to Aquanetta Warren's page, honestly. First off, I gotta show the food that my wife just made me. It's so good. She said she put a little heart in the center of it. Look at that. That's so queer. But it's Pride Month, so that's great. Okay. Some massive beans and looks so good. I have tortilla chips on the side too, so we're gonna be crunching. But anyways, yeah. So she hasn't posted anything about. Let's check out her stories.
Warren, your mayor. And you know what today is? You know I'm so happy? It's our city's 74th birthday, June 25th, 1952. So you know what that means? Happy birthday, Fontana. And you know what next year means? Happy 75th birthday, Fontana. So stay tuned. It's time to party.
Oh my God, stay tuned. Yeah, I'm sure she's having the time of her life. Oh damn. Women mayor discuss over. Oh, we already saw that. That was boring. Okay, so she didn't post anything about the warehouse. All right, let's go to oh yeah, back to this article. Okay. On of note, some of the West End cities at present face a less acute homeless crisis than they did in the past. Ontario, for example, became a haven for a substantial number of homeless more than a decade and a half ago, just prior to the national, state, and local economic downturn of 2007. A group of about 20 ragtag squatters occupied vacant property just west of Ontario Airport without authorization. When the recession hit in the earnest later that year and continued into 2008, even more people flocked to the spot. Bowing to reality, Ontario city officials set aside to a 2.5-acre site near Ontario International Airport west of Grove Avenue where homeless people could camp without being fined or arrested. Began providing water hookups, sanitation facilities, and other basic services to those living there. That official acceptance generated publicity, which in turn resulted in larger numbers of homeless setting up living quarters there. Damn. Deviates. She said she got that energy though. Yeah, she got that energy because she got money. She got money. All right. In 2008, the city drew the line, disallowing outsiders living in mobile homes from occupying the area and then insinuating a policy of having those accepted there show proof that they have lived or otherwise originated in Ontario to receive limited services the city was providing. Though referred to as Tent City, over time the encampment, which in many cases involved individuals and families living in and out of their vehicles, grew to over 400 and spilled into vacant property exceeding the original 2.5 acres. The result in Ontario becoming the city. This resulted in Ontario becoming the city in San Bernardino County behind the city of San Bernardino with the second largest homelessness count. That's crazy. DV8 said, tired of just little tweaks here and there instead of an actual permanent change. Yeah, I agree. That's why I would love to have some of these politicians on the stream to ask them, what's the end goal, I know we're already looking forward to Fontana's 75th birthday, but like what are we going to do to well, first off, are the people who have homes in the city of Fontana going to be excited that all of a sudden their city is going to be the new homeless place that all the other cities send their homelessness people to? If that happened in Rancho would not be happy. I'll tell you that much. And then not to mention it's just going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. I don't know, man, if we're going to go back to big tent cities if we hit another great recession like the 2008 one, but we already do kind of have tent cities in Los Angeles. In 2012, with the existence of Tent City having persisted for more than 4 years, Ontario city officials resolved to eradicate it. First, by discontinuing the provision of the basic facilities it had been providing and then engaging in ever-increasing enforcement activity, which convinced most of those there to leave. Simultaneously and subsequently, other cities on the west side of the county were experiencing difficulties brought on by the occasional, reoccurrent, and permanent presence of the homelessness, even though there were no homelessness shelters per se in those communities. On the west side of Upland, along underdeveloped, unoccupied strips of property, both south and north of Foothill Boulevard, in patches, chaparral and underbrush, or washes below the oh my God. I love how this writer has to use all these complicated words, but man, it's a lot sometimes. Homeless encampments were, for the most part, hidden from view. Ones with populations that totaled over 100 had cropped up. The denizens of those individual encampments grew visible. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Generally, the West End cities, Chino Hills, Chino, Montclair, Upland, Ontario, and Rancho Cucamonga, demonstrated themselves adverse to hosting or serving as a venue for homelessness shelter or offering any type of services to the homelessness that might serve as a magnet for the impoverished. Yeah, see, there you go. That's what I just said. Okay, let's take a break from reading and watch something that I can eat too. But oh my God, City of Riverside is celebrating America's 250th birthday. Hold on. We'll find something good. Here, let's check out the Boyle Heights warehouse fire. We haven't really recapped that.
Developing news now in Boyle Heights, where for the first night in more than a week, the sky is not filled with smoke. The massive warehouse fire is nearly out, but not all residents are breathing a sigh of relief.
Yeah, they still have questions tonight about what's in the air and what they're starting to smell now. CBS LA's Hunter Sowers breaks down those concerns tonight.
Yeah, there is a significant difference even from yesterday when fire officials declared that knockdown. Still a lot of work to be done, as you can see here behind me. And I can tell you the fear is still very real for this community. I spent the day up and down Indiana Street talking to small business owners who say their stores are simply empty. The skies above Boyle Heights look a lot different today compared to last week, but work to clear the mess littering the Lineage facility has barely begun.
It's a very complicated building, very dynamic, not your typical type fire.
Fire officials are using drones to locate problem hotspots, but they can't rely on ground crews fighting the fire from inside the massive 500,000 square foot facility.
Zero visibility. It's a firefighter killer, which is why we can't send firefighters deep inside this building like we normally would a regular house fire.
Outside in the community, tables at local restaurants sit empty.
We're down all week, that affect too much.
Terrible.
We don't have business.
Giovanna Garcia says her shop has seen a steep drop in customers since the fire started.
Really bad, I don't know how long it's going to be like that because now, smell that people, they don't want to come out.
My kids were saying that they could smell like dead animal smell. So I guess it's just all the food that got spoiled. That's what we're smelling.
As for air quality, smoke might be clearing, but the smell of rotting food quickly replacing it. All signs of environmental hazards. And then comes the cleanup. Officials from the Clean Air Coalition demand strict oversight as they start clearing decaying waste and toxic foam.
The cleanup is going to be intensive and it's going to take a while, and they will, we hope, take measures to minimize how much soot and ash and things get re-entrained up into the air again.
Late Thursday, Lineage releasing a statement detailing their plans, including robust plans for disinfection, odor, and pest control, including the use of watertight trailers and containers to transport waste off-site.
We are very Latin community, I don't know what I want to do.
There's just so many challenges and problems that this community has come up against. They need and deserve some special attention.
Despite skepticism from the community, the fire chief says that Lineage, the company who owns this building, is doing everything they can to try to help support put this fire out, including paying out of pocket for things like the Chinook helicopters that we know made significant progress early on in this firefight. It will also be up to them to make sure that all of the debris you see behind me is safely removed. Reporting in Boyle Heights, Hunter Sowards, CBS LA.
Yeah.
A fire in Los Angeles has been burning for over a week. Helicopters dropping water on the building, hazmat crews on scene, people being sheltered in place, and now, right around 85 million pounds of food, it's about to become a biohazard. This is Stashed. I'm Pat, firefighter, mechanical engineer, and battery guy.
Imagine naming your whole YouTube channel after your mustache. That's hilarious.
This incident from the beginning, but when the fire broke out, I was just getting started on a week-long vacation. Honestly, I expected the fire to be out by the weekend, but here we are, over a week later, and it's still burning, which isn't really surprising after I really looked into the details. On June 17, 2026, just before 2:30 in the afternoon, a fire broke out at a cold storage warehouse in Los Angeles, California. Over the last week, I've seen a lot of different claims in the media about the size of this building. But by my own measurements off the satellite image, this building was roughly 675 feet by 700 feet. I'll round up and call this a 500,000 square feet. The building does have a firewall dividing it right down the middle, and that's different from some of the other warehouse fires we've seen recently. Yeah. And it stands roughly 75 feet tall. Now the racks themselves, they are built solid, and they're 65 feet tall.
Oh my God. It's like the black and white, or yeah. Deviate said you could smell the smoke all the way over here last week. It was terrible. I didn't let my cats outside for at least 4 days. But yeah, this is bad because it all went through this stupid. Let me go to Google Maps real quick. All right. It was bad because the fire was over. Where's Boyle Heights? It's somewhere over here, right? It was all just going past Claremont, Ontario, Chino, all of that. It was all going through this little tunnel of the two mountains, these two mountain ranges right here that makes the valley. It was just blowing that way. It was terrible.
Some areas, the roof is actually sagging down, touching the racks. But in between each rack is only 78 inches of aisleway. The fire has caused a fairly large shelter-in-place zone. It's covering the majority of Boyle Heights. But there was a visible smoke plume that traveled far beyond that, drifting for miles and triggering air quality alerts across a huge stretch of Los Angeles. To understand why this fire was so difficult to extinguish, you need to understand how the building was constructed. This thing was built like a giant cooler. It was 8.5 inches of foam sandwiched between two corrugated steel panels. But on top of the roof, there was an added layer of rubber. That foam is what keeps everything inside below freezing. But it's also what makes it very difficult to put out the fire. Now, I've been on rooftop fires before, and when that fire gets down into the foam underneath that rubber membrane, it's very difficult to deal with. But the fires I've been in, the foam's only been a couple inches thick. Once that heat gets down into the foam like that, it doesn't act like a normal structure fire. It smolders and worms its way throughout the roof. And it's nearly impossible to extinguish without peeling back that rubber membrane. Now, typically, foam used in building construction is fire resistant. However, fire resistant doesn't mean it can't burn. It just takes more energy to sustain a flame. And when you've got the solar panels burning, that rubber roof membrane burning, they're aggressively driving heat into the foam itself. And it's going to burn and contribute to that fire spread. In the fire service, we label the sides of buildings with letters. In this case, the alpha side was the south side of the building. And then we move clockwise, Bravo, Charlie, Delta sides. The fire appears to have started near that Charlie Delta corner, but it wasn't right at the corner. It was into the structure a bit. Just a few weeks ago, I covered that Medline fire. It was another massive warehouse, over 1 million square feet, and in that case, I said that rooftop solar could have been the cause of that fire. And we've seen quite a few rooftop solar panels causing fires over the last few years.
Yeah, what's up?
In this most recent fire, initial reports are pointing to solar panels. And what's interesting, this same building.
Like, what's gonna happen? Like, you're telling me, people's homes that have solar panels on them, are those gonna, cause fires too? Because then that's really bad.
Building had a solar panel fire back in 2024. The more I look into these types of fires, the more I think rooftop solar installations need their own dedicated suppression system. Because right now, if a fire does start on the roof, it's extremely difficult for fire crews to suppress that fire. It's more of an access issue than anything. When you look at a building like this, they need to get a ladder set up. They have to stretch hand lines, and depending on the location of that fire, they could be making a 300-foot stretch.
Wow.
That's not that easy. But they also have to worry about the electrical hazards. Now, on day 3 of this
Yeah. That's crazy.
fire, crews were still finding live voltage on the solar panel.
Homie said that he's starting to think that rooftop solar panels need to start having their own fire suppression system. That's crazy. Like that's just. I mean, if that's what it's coming to, I don't want to have solar panels on my rooftop. Like, man, I don't know, man.
Panels they thought were already shut down. The rapid shutdown on this solar system wasn't working as expected. So even after power to the building was cut, crews were still seeing power in the building. Firefighters ended up having to go to the roof on the unaffected side, find each inverter, around 40 of them, and manually shut down the disconnects. But then they had to disconnect
you're right,
the wires.
You're right. I don't know if the solar panels caused the fire, but still.
That went to each panel. I have an amazing network that I'm able to get boots on the ground information for a lot of the incidents I talk about. I really couldn't do this without them. If you like this content, hit the subscribe button. My goal is 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2026. Now, early on in this fire, it was reported that there was a major ammonia leak. Apparently, that wasn't the case, and there weren't even any ammonia lines in the area of the fire. But after the fire really got going, the company was proactive and emptied all the ammonia from the system and the tanks. They used tanker trucks to ensure they could get that hazardous material off site. Like I said earlier, fighting this fire is a real nightmare. The rubber membrane and the corrugated steel panels made it impossible to fight it from the outside. And crews were limited to a handful of man doors and a large freezer dock doors to make entry. And they really couldn't push too deep inside of that building due to multiple issues. But crews were proactive, and early on they were able to move more than 60 lithium-ion powered battery forklifts outside of the building. And that was before they were damaged by the fire.
Oh my God.
Thankfully, this building does have a firewall splitting it
like forklifts blowing up in the fire. Jeez.
Into 2 separate coolers with a 30-foot tall fire door between them. Crews were able to shut that door early and made it their objective to ensure that fire didn't go beyond that firewall. They actually ended up making a trench cut on the roof so they could get water on that firewall to keep things cool. I couldn't even imagine the effort involved. They're literally cutting through 2 steel decks and all that insulation over a 700-foot length. You can see in this video where they're
That's true, DV8. Yeah, just take the solar thing with a grain of salt because we don't know people's biases. Yeah. It could be like Donald Trump with the, oh my God, we shouldn't have wind power because it kills the birds.
continually spraying water on that area just to make sure the fire doesn't jump that break. Thankfully, there are no injuries reported at this time, but this is really a dangerous situation for fire crews. Cold storage fires have killed firefighters in the past. And a lot of that is the size of this building. It makes firefighting nearly impossible. That's why you saw things that you don't normally see at a structure fire, like helicopters dropping water on the roof to help knock down that fire. And let's be honest, there are very few departments in the country that would have that capability. If I made that request on an incident, there would be a lot of laughter. To gain access to the interior, crews actually used heavy equipment to rip off the metal and foam insulation from the sidewalls of that structure. And the amount of water flowing into this building is incredible. You have multiple ladder trucks flowing water at anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 gallons per minute. The helicopters are delivering about 3,000 gallons with every drop.
Like it's a wildfire.
They brought in massive water cannons from local oil refineries and even brought some up from Texas. The largest water cannons require 7-inch diameter hose to flow water upwards of 6,000 gallons per minute.
What the heck?
The local water supply is stretched thin, so they have to relay pump water from blocks away. All that supply line creates access issues. So they actually built ramps out of wood and steel so apparatus and trucks could drive safely over those supply lines. Overall, they're flowing an estimated 12.5 million gallons of water per day. And all that water, it has to go somewhere. It's flowing out of the building, it's flowing out of the storm system. The city has to bring in vac trucks to empty any areas where the water's pooling. Now, at this point, they seem to have the fire under control, but it'll likely take weeks before that fire's fully out. They'll have to get crews inside that structure to slowly pull out debris, and then they'll hit any hot spots. But even then, this isn't over. There's roughly 85 million pounds of frozen food that isn't frozen anymore. They have a massive biohazard situation on their hands. Not only will all that rotting food attract all sorts of insects, but they'll also start bringing in the rats.
Oh, God.
Removing that food should be pretty easy from the unaffected side, but the removal from the fire damage side will take a lot of effort to ensure those crews are safe while they do it. This fire has been a difficult situation. It required the kind of mutual aid response that LA typically reserves for wildland fires. It'll likely change the way fire departments across the country look at buildings with rooftop solar, and I'm betting it might even change installation requirements in the future.
That's crazy. He said that change it. Okay.
Helping news.
Yeah, that was really good info. Shout out to Stashed. He was a firefighter who does YouTube videos on fires. Who would have thought?
City officials give an update on a massive cleanup effort now underway at a Boyle Heights warehouse after the fire that burned for more than a week. Crews are now focused on removing tons of rotting food and debris from inside the building.
Yeah, even though the fire is out, a lot of neighboring residents and businesses are still dealing with the aftermath. KTLA's Haley Winslow live. She's near the scene with the very latest on what's going on there. Haley?
Ladies, it is a domino effect of destruction here in Boyle Heights. Businesses struggling or shut down, health and safety hazards, people afraid to be at their home right now. And a smell in the air, I don't know how else to put it, other than it is just awful. So now the big question, what happened to all those millions of pounds of frozen food that were inside this warehouse?
Yeah.
85 million pounds of food.
Wafts of rotten frozen food and charred industrial supplies fill the already hazardous air in Boyle Heights, attracting rodents to the ultimate feast at this burned down warehouse that caught fire 8 days ago.
You're seeing product. Some of it's what was at one time frozen fish, frozen animal products, some of it's bakery products flowing towards those strainers, but we're catching them before they get into the drainage, so it doesn't end up in our oceans. Because the last thing we want to do is pollute the beautiful beaches of Southern California with any of this fire debris.
As firefighters continue hosing down the still smoldering Lineage Logistics on Union Pacific in Indiana, sanitation workers monitor and strain runoff before the polluted water goes into our storm drains. California Governor Gavin Newsom declared this disaster a state of emergency to allow for additional resources, and LA Mayor Karen Bass is making a similar move.
I will soon be issuing an executive order to see how we move the needle forward, not just on this incident, but preventing future incidents in communities, especially communities of color.
The city is deploying mobile health units to Boyle Heights and giving residents free air purifiers and N95 masks, although locals say it's too late.
I'm already preparing that this is going to be a long-term issue, and what are the implications of that for the community, just on every level.
The cold storage facility believes the fire started from testing on third-party owned solar panels on the roof. Its second fire here in 2 years. As remediation and cleanup continue, the city plans to hand back the property to Lineage, whose first job will be properly discarding the remaining 45 million pounds of spoiled food in the only building LAFD was able to salvage. There was this company that drove into the scene called the Hose Helper, so I called and found out what they were doing. They actually are essentially a mobile service for firefighters. When a hose breaks or especially heavy machinery, it immediately can fix it with their hydraulic hoses and their specialty with heavy equipment, which allow firefighters to get right back to work quickly, making this cleanup go a lot faster. It's essentially a new service, American-made, family-owned business that really helps out and helped out with LAFD during.
Yeah, DVA said third-party solar panels. What does that mean? They're gonna start saying it was Chinese solar panels.
In the only building LAFD was able to salvage. Cleanup continue. The city plans to hand back the property to Lineage, whose first job will be properly discarding the remaining 45 million pounds of spoiled food in the only building LAFD was able to salvage.
Yeah. They didn't get their officially Nintendo licensed solar panels. That's why they caught the building on fire. Yeah, that's why it's really weird. The only other thing I can think of what they're trying to say is that maybe it's solar panels not owned by the electric company and solar panels not owned by the warehouse company, I guess. Let's see. Let's do a little research. LAFD plans to turn over Boyle Hut's warehouse ravaged by fire back to Lineage Logistics. Yeah, or the solar panels aren't regulated, or a company does the solar panels, but not the right way. Yeah, that was really weird of her to say, but I guess I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Like, did Lineage put out um a press release or something? Okay. Um, on Wednesday, June 17th, a fire started at Lineage's Boyle Heights facility located at 1400 South Los Palos Street in Boyle Heights neighborhood of Los Angeles. We are working closely with local officials and first responder teams to assess the situation, provide support, and conduct a thorough investigation. Please visit this page. So they put out a statement yesterday, but did they say Lineage is committed to the fastest cleanup possible? Blah blah blah. Cleanup effort. Cold stores, warehouses are essential infrastructure. They keep perishable. Blah yeah. Critically, our team removed all ammonia. That's yeah, they said that. We want to be transparent. Did not store any hazardous materials. As we remain committed to doing everything we can. Firefighters, blah blah blah. We're Lineage provided air purifiers en masse to the community, and we are going to keep that going as long as they are needed. Also brought food trucks to provide almost 1,000 meals to residents and firefighters. Additionally, we have donated $2 million to the California Community Impact Fund that is being used to deliver immediate support to Boyle Heights residents. Okay, let's see. Since the fire began, we have begun regular communication with Mayor Bass, blah, blah, blah. Closely with fire department. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll have to find out what. Oh, wait, here. Is this it? Is this it? Lineage top priority is the health and safety of the community. Lineage is the tenant operator of the building at this time. We believe the fire began while testing was being conducted by contractors of the third-party owner of the solar array located on the facility's roof. So who's the owner? The facility is not used for the This facility is not used for the storage of hazardous. Okay, we already knew that. All right. So straight up on the 19th. Well, let's see. The fire started on the 17th, right? Crazy. Okay. Let's get back to wait, Deviate said the company cheapen out on solar panels. Very well could be, but I don't know. It was weird how the reporter said that the fire had happened here before, and it's made it sound like it was from solar panels before too, but I don't know. Let me take my food back to the kitchen real quick. Here, I'll play something.
Now, the warehouse fire in Boyle Heights is out. Now, though, the cleanup begins. NBC4's Karma Dickerson joins us live from Boyle Heights with some new concerns from fire crews out there. Karma.
Oh, Colleen, that new concern, you can feel it as soon as you open a car door, an overwhelming, strong odor here. Now, to be fair, authorities were expecting this because this is a refrigerated food warehouse where the food isn't refrigerated anymore. Nevertheless, it's quite overpowering, just something else people have to contend with. The skies are clearing of smoke, but today there's something else in the air.
Now we have to deal with the stench.
The LA fire chief estimated 45 million pounds of once refrigerated food remains in this Boyle Heights facility. Wednesday evening, day 8 of the fire at the Lineage building, firefighters announced they had knocked it down.
Knockdown means that this fire is no longer progressing, that we have a control of it. You're still seeing water cannons flow some water, and that's because it's part of the overhaul process. We're keeping everything well wet and cool, and we do have a small portion of area in the center of this building that is covered with product where we still have a little bit of fire, and we know that. But it's just too unsafe for our firefighters to get in there and dig that out.
Chief Jaime Moore projects he'll turn the building back over to the owner tomorrow, though the emergency management department will oversee the cleanup. The property owner is responsible for carrying it out.
Well, I've had a conversation with the building owner and the business owner that they're working on trying to figure out how to mitigate that. I'm not sure what they're going to do to mitigate that smell, if it's just rapid extraction of getting everything out, or if it's to treat it with another sort of deodorant to just stop it from smelling.
Meanwhile, concerns about ongoing pollution remain.
We are at a point where the biggest source of pollution is being knocked down. So fortunately, everyone should be seeing and experiencing better air quality.
We have sanitation straining the water so that we can ensure that the water that's going into the storm drains is not going to affect or pollute our oceans. They're monitoring the quality of the water that's going in there.
So overall, positive news to share about the fire's progress and the next step of the cleanup. However, people still have a lot of questions about how that's all going to unfold. We did reach out to try to understand more about how this rotting food essentially is going to be taken out of the building and what they're going to do and how quickly that's going to happen. We have not yet heard back from the company at the center of it all. Reporting live, I'm Karma Dickerson, NBC4 News.
Damn. Okay. Okay. Let's get back to that article from Okay. Wait, hold on, I want to see this real quick.
You know, if you don't have to live in the IE to know that there are tons of big rigs out here, tons of warehouses overall. Now, specifically here in the city of Fontana, there are more than 50, and that's what residents have really been fighting against.
Today, I'm proud to announce that we've secured an innovative settlement with the city to resolve this matter and protect more vulnerable communities from pollution associated with industrial development, where they live, where they work, and where they go to school.
Now, Attorney General Rob Bonta was in Los Angeles this morning to make that big announcement. Nearly 1 year ago, last July, Bonta announced a lawsuit against the city of Fontana to challenge the approval of a warehouse that sits adjacent to Harupa Hills High School. There are also several homes nearby. Now, that lawsuit claiming that yet another warehouse would be another source of industrial pollution in a residential community. It also claimed that the city violated the California Environmental Quality Act, also known as CEQA, when it approved the project known as the Slover and Oleander Warehouse Project. Now, those are also the street names of where this warehouse will be. Today, Bonta's announcement ensured that the warehouse will be built, but that there are conditions for developer Duke Realty, which is responsible for the new warehouse. According to Bonta, some of the things the company will have to do is make design changes, ensure reduced emissions from equipment, utilize solar power, all to minimize the impact on surrounding communities. Now, Duke Realty will also have to create a community benefit fund to enhance landscaping buffers and also fund the purchase of air filters for more than 1,700 households in Fontana for the next 5 years. Now, the city also adopting its own measures from now on for current and future warehouses. Bonta says a new ordinance will reroute truck routes and keep trucks away from homes and schools that are just sitting, spewing emissions. Now, as you can imagine, this has been an ongoing problem that residents have fought against for years with the influx of new warehouses. Bonta says those projects have been going unchecked for too long.
When projects are sited in neighborhoods next to schools, homes, churches, and underserved communities, that really raises the stakes. Diesel pollution, greenhouse gas emissions, and safety for school children and the residents were our primary concern.
Now, we reached out to the city of Fontana. We are still waiting to hear back from them in a statement that they said that they are going to release to us shortly. Meantime, coming up a little bit later on at 5, we also got a statement from Duke Realty, the developer behind all of this. You will hear more from their end as well. But for now, here live in Fontana, I'm Shelby Nelson, KTLA 5 News.
Sorry, I'm just looking at Google Maps and all the freaking warehouses around this whole area. Let me go to Google Earth. Okay, okay. Thank you for throwing the hearts in the chat. Yeah, here you can really see all the warehouses. Okay, where was the school that they said?
And the residents were our primary concern.
Now, we reached out to the city of Fontana. We are still waiting to hear back from them in a statement that they said that they are going to release to us shortly. Meantime, coming up a little bit later on at 5, we also got a statement from Duke Realty, the developer behind all of this. You will hear more from their end as well. But for now, here live in Fontana, I'm Shelby Nelson, KTLA 5 News.
So many warehouses, bro. So many. It's crazy. They just like all wait, I could do a little tilt, I think. 3D. Yes, there we go. It's glitching out. Crazy. I think it's East Valley College. Damn. All right. All right. Let's continue with this article. Okay. Um so it was from the San Bernardino County Sentinel uh from 2025. All right. San Bernardino County officials, in working toward convincing Fontana to expand the Fontana Navigation Center into the West End Navigation Center, made presumptions about bringing Rancho Cucamonga, Ontario, Upland, Montclair, Chino, and Chino Hills in on the Delt that were depending on the city. Too many freaking commas in the sentence. Whatever. A basic assumption was that none of those municipalities was in a hurry to welcome within its confines a homeless shelter. Following from what Following from that was that each of the cities would support the concept of allowing Fontana to host such a facility where those cities' homelessness could be relocated either permanently or temporarily. In this way, the county calculated the officials in those cities would be willing to make a layout of what county officials deemed would be each one's fair share of the cost of running the navigation center. It was anticipated that this would be the case, especially since the county itself would be defraying a considerable portion of the operational cost. Indeed, Rialto, Fontana, Rancho Cucamonga, Upland, Ontario, Montclair, and Chino were ready to buy into the deal to a greater or lesser extent. Chino Hills, however, is balking at becoming a full-fledged member of the West End Navigation Center Consortium. Okay, sorry. All right. All right. All right. Okay. At the bias of Chino Hill's officials' reluctance is the consideration at the present, at least, is its homeless crisis is nothing close to what other nearby cities are exhibiting. Of San Bernardino County, 24 incorporated municipalities, it ranks 24th in homelessness, with just 3 total homelessness counted during the most recent point in time count. No way. See, that's what I'm saying. The point in time count is, it doesn't make sense to me. You're telling me that they drove through the entire city of Chino Hills and only counted 3 homeless people? No way, bro. No way. Chino had less than a critical problem with homelessness as it stood at 18th on the list of number of those unsheltered among the county's 22 cities and 2 enfranchised towns. With 31 who were known to be living on its streets in January, Montclair in January came in as the next least impacted by homelessness in terms of sheer numbers, with 38 unhoused. See, you're telling me the city of Montclair only had 38 homeless people? No, no. Though that relatively favorable 16th place ranking is in some measures a result of its diminutive size, as a 5.52 square miles, it is the county's smallest city geographically. All of the remaining cities in the West End have homelessness levels that represent at least a mild and in some cases a significant social burden. Rialto, with 54 homeless, again, I don't believe that they only had 54 homeless people, within its city limits ranks 13 on the list of the number of homeless in the county, and Upland, where there were 67 homeless, tallied ranks 12. Rancho Cucamonga, where there were a total of 120 homeless counted, was the 7th among the county's cities in being affected with residents who have no houses to inhabit. In Ontario, there were a total of 297. Fontana has the dubious distinction of having the most homeless people among the West End cities, with 364. I don't know, that to me that doesn't seem like that much big of a difference between Ontario, but okay. Making it the 3rd most unfortunate county city in this regard, with San Bernardino and Victorville being the only cities with more unenviable numbers in that regard countywide. The city of Chino Hills has expressed hesitation about committing to participating in the West End Navigation Center cooperative based on the minuscule number of homelessness residents in the city is dodged by and because the facility is 37 miles distant. Under the term of Chino Hills' participation in the deal worked out by the county, the city would contribute $200,000 per year towards the operation of the West End Navigation Center, which would entitle it to send no fewer than, and perhaps more, homeless individuals residing within its borders to Fontana to be cared for and provided with assistance and training to allow them to eventually find employment or some other means of getting housing. Chino Hills decision makers, i.e., the city council members, are acutely aware that the city earlier this year had only 3 known homeless people within its 44.68 square mile expanse. They understood, too, that the County of San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, which the city contracts to provide law enforcement services and acts as Chino Hills Police Department, is at liberty to treat homelessness in the city very aggressively, and that this has in the past dissuaded and will in the future dissuade the homeless from remaining in the city. Wow, so yeah, of course, Chino Hills, they have lesser people to harass. They're going to be able to harass them. Chino Hills officials noted that the city of Chino was being allowed to participate in the West End Navigation Center program for the same amount of money, $200,000 per year, as Chino Hills is being called upon to pay. Thus, their city was being asked to pay $40,000 per homeless enrollee at the Navigation Center, when Chino was being counted upon potentially to pay less than 1/10 that. Yeah, because they're only sending one person over there, I guess. When similar numerical breakdowns with come of the other West End cities are considered, Chino Hills officials said it seemed like they were getting ripped off. While Fontana had agreed to contribute 1/3 of the cost of the West End Navigation Center's operations, $1 million per year, The 271 homeless in its jurisdiction that might tap into its service made its deal sound more favorable than the one given to Chino Hills, the Chino Hills City Council suggested. Likewise, Ontario, which was to contribute 2,500 per year, potentially would see far greater benefit from its participation than Chino Hills, given that it has 271 homeless who might receive services for their long or short durations. While the county is committed to underwrite the operations at the Navigation Center to the tune of $450,000 annually, it would have the option of sending any of the 3,834 homeless who are not in Chino Hills to the 3 known homelessness in Chino Hills to the Navigation for treatment and other services as its officials deem fit. That doesn't make sense to me, but okay. For Chino Hills Council members and its taxpayers, the distance to the Navigation Center is an issue. Since the participating cities must provide transportation for the homeless individuals they want to be treated or temporarily housed at the Fontana facility and then arrange to transport them back when those individuals being assessed have completed their engagement at the center. So like what? I thought they're there to go get help, and like figure out stuff long term. But no, it's just like, okay, take them to the little doggy pound overnight and then put them back where you found them. That doesn't make any sense. On November 11th, the Chino Hills City Council instructed City Manager Benjamin Montgomery to enter into renegotiations with the county for different fairer terms than were offered in the initial Chino Hills West End Navigation Center contractual arrangements. On the table are Chino Hills' annual contributions toward the center's operational cost, as well as the 10-year duration of commitments the participants are to be locked into. It is known that Ontario is contemplating the development of comprehensive homelessness outreach facility and shelter, while plans for that facility are not yet on the drawing board, and the project is most likely at least 3, if not 4 years from completion. Chino Hills official would be interested in engaging with Ontario for homelessness assistance services, given Chino Hills' proximity to that facility would be roughly half of what it is to the West End Navigation Center. And oh my God, yes, if Chino Hills has to pay for the transportation of these people, they don't want to, deal with that. All right, see you later, Deviate. Peace out. Have a good one. Throw the placenta in the chat. Let me save this to my notes. Thank you, San Bernardino County Sentinel. As always, y'all write the most longest and complex things, but thank you for actually writing things. All right, let's look at this Facebook post from Supervisor Don Rao. Oh, she doesn't let people comment on her post. Why not, brother? Today we broke ground on the West End Regional Navigation Center. This was April 6th. A regional effort to address homelessness with real solutions. The 200-bed facility will provide emergency shelter. We already know that. Let's look through the pictures, see who we see. Oh, I see Pete Aguilar. Damn. I don't know. There's Aquanetta Wara, Jesse Armendariz. I don't know why he's leaning forward so much. Is he wearing lifts? He's feeling a little shy that he's shorter than a lot of people, because there's Kurt Hagman in the back. There's Joe Baca Jr. back there. Let's see, next page. Okay, it's Don Rao. There you go. Aquanetta Warren, Joe Baca Jr., Jesse Armendariz, Kurt Hagman. I don't know who this is. And there's a mayor of Rancho Cucamonga, Mr. L. Dennis. I know he goes by his middle name. All right. Damn. Oh crap. Here, I want to. Whoops. Let's check out Supervisor Don Rao. Am I following her? Oh my God, Paul Cook is using a cane now. A cane, and he has a glove. Man, why are they all wearing orange ties? It was an honor to join my colleagues on the Board of Supervisor in recognizing Dr. Richard Hart for his extraordinary career of service and leadership as he prepares for retirement. Oh, he was a Loma Linda University Health, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oh, look, see, Don Rao was at the Rotary Club. Is the Rotary Club. Oh, man. All right. Okay, she did not. Maybe in her stories, view story. Okay, she's saying all fireworks are illegal. Yep. 4th of July, offices be closed. Okay. Oh no. Jeez, I'm so sorry. All right. Yeah. So then here's the official press release. Fontana. Oh, this is the Fontana press release. Posted on April Fools. The city of Fontana is advancing regional efforts to address homelessness through the transfer of a city property through San Bernardino County to the development of the West End Regional Navigation Center. You know what? I feel like we need to do a little bit more digging on the homelessness. What was that one lady's name? Something. It wasn't Denise Rodham? I forgot what. Oh well. She was the CAO. Or she worked for the CAO. There you go. Diane Rundles. Thank you. Yeah, let's. Okay, so she behavioral health, public health, community development, and housing. Okay. See, look, they even put it in their own little. Look, we call CDH. Who the hell cares, brother? Okay. There's the funding, maps, affordable housing project. Oh, they have a map of all affordable housing. Wow. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Does Rancho Cucamonga have any affordable housing? Yeah, 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 yeah. Hi. Oh, no, these are schools. Never mind. Affordable senior housing. I think that's the only affordable housing that they have. Yeah, okay. So the affordable housing in Rancho Cucamonga is for seniors over the age of 62. Where is this at? Oh, they don't even let you. Okay, that's pathetic. No, did it glitch out? Oh, it glitched out. There we go. There we go. No. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Heritage Point Senior Apartments. They have 48 units. How many of them are actual? Like, why do they even have to put the school district by it? What senior apartments are going to allow children to live there? Okay. And then where else in Rancho? That's it. Oh, there's 55 and up. Okay. Okay. Yep. It's where Abuela used to live. Yeah, Villa Pacifica. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's check Fontana. Affordable senior housing. There's no. Okay. I guess it's really just for seniors. Okay, the Community Development Division manages a wide variety of U.S. Department housing and urban development, grant funded construction, public services, see homeowner resources. Oh, housing rental resources, see developer Of course, they would have resources for developers. Housing Development Fund. This Housing Development Fund is designed to provide a gap funding to support. Okay, current projects. How to apply to receive. Ah. Hmm. Okay, this is from HUD. All right. Hold on. Let's rotate this. www.rsmetals.us. That's literally written on the top of the warehouse. That's so creepy that this is where the people are going to. Okay. www. What was RSMET. R RSMET ALS.us. Oh, RS Metals. That's probably what it says. Reliable Source Inc. Hmm. So like it's down the street from a quarry, of course. Yeah. Yeah. So like this how are people supposed to get here? There's like not even a bus stop. Wow. Oh my god. Google Earth is crazy, bro. Okay. Okay. Chino on board with homeless facility. Chino Hills unsure. Ah, I see. So this is supposed to open in December 2026. I don't know, man. They just barely broke ground in April and then we saw the PR that they did. Yeah, they're going to half-ass it for sure, I bet. Okay, let's read this article. To address the ongoing homelessness crisis, San Bernardino County will invest 20 million into a 200-bed facility tentatively called the West End Navigation Center in Fontana that is expected to open December 2026. Annual operating cost for the facility is projected 3 million that will be shared by the county and participating cities. The total number of beds, 100 would be emergency shelter and 100 would be recuperative medical care. So like rehab? So far, the West End cities of Chino, Fontana, Montclair, Ontario, Rancho Cucamonga, Rialto, and Upland are on board. City of Chino Hills, however, has expressed hesitation because it's a small number of homelessness and the facility is 30 minutes away. Each city is required to transport the homeless individual to Fontana facility and bring them back when treatment is concluded. That's so crazy. That just like doesn't make a lick of sense. I'm sorry. Like again, it just sounds like it's a doggy daycare, you know? Drop the homeless people off at the West End facility. Fontana takes your money, and then that's it. Joanne Guinness, who spent 3 years advocating for her homeless son, Cody, who died October 4th from a hit and run driver, told the council that although she is a big advocate for the homeless, there is nothing in writing that the beds would be used for the Prop 36 provision on court-ordered treatment that included drug and mental health treatment. She was also concerned that the program is voluntary. Something dehumanizing about this whole thing, Stardust City Hag said. Yeah, something fishy too. Okay, trying to convince and reason with someone who is having mental health and drug issues to go into a shelter is not an easy task, she said, referring to her son who was arrested and released 32 times. It's terrible. Social workers, what was it? Social Work Action Group visited Cody more than 200 times and he refused to go into housing, she said. The city of Chino will also be required to spend $200,000 per year with 5 guaranteed beds. During the last point in time count, 31 homeless people were recorded. Fontana would pay the lion's share with $1 million per year with 271 homeless people, and the county would pay $475,000 per year with 3,800 whatever. Ontario has agreed to join for 3 years at $250,000 per year before it establishes its own facility. The Chino City Council approved the agreement on Tuesday that Mayor Eunice Ayola, I don't know how to say that, and Eunice, at least the first person is Eunice, I don't know how to say Ayola, whatever. Councilperson Karen Comstock stating the facility is long overdue and will be a welcomed resource for Chino. Navigation centers are funded in part by state law aimed at preventing and ending homelessness with temporary housing and access to health care, behavioral health care, and public benefits. The contract is for 10 years with an automatic 5-year renewal. Contributions will be reevaluated after the second year and adjusted based on the county point in time counts. I gotta hold on. I know San Bernardino County has videos of this. Here you go. 2023.
Today is a very important day. Today is an important day for many reasons. It's about caring, compassion, and quality of life.
Shout out to Mayor Helen Tran, San Bernardino, right there next to Joe Baca Jr. Why does he have a big number 5 on his? Disgusting.
Quality of life. This takes a collaboration between our cities, counties, community partners, nonprofits to come together and try to address this issue.
So the San Bernardino County point-in-time homelessness count is actually a 1-day count. It happens once a year in the month of January. It's a count that takes place kind of throughout the state and accounts for all of the...
Oh my God, I know this dude. I forgot about him. I met him. Oh man, my homie will remember, Bree. I met him at the State of the County when me and Bree went there. And he was our boss's boss's boss, right? And our boss's boss was like, hey, make sure you say hi to my boss. Let him know that I sent you guys, right? So I walk up to, we finally see him, and I'm like, oh, there he is. So I walk to him. I'm like, oh, Mr. Jimenez. The director wanted to let us know that, wanted us to let you know that, you know, we're here and we came to see you. We, represent our department, right? And then I kid you not, shout out to him with his wonky eye right now. He looks at me as I'm shaking my hand and says, here, let me get close to the camera. He says, what's your position? What's your position again? What's your title again? And I was just like, oof, I got the whiplash. I was like, I took it lightheartedly, honestly, because what else was I going to do? Homie was trying to embarrass me right then and there, but now we got this. We got him on video. Welcome to my stream, Michael Jimenez. What's your position? It's this. Okay, so I don't even know if he works with the county anymore. I didn't see him in the thing, but anyways, yeah. Big shout out to homie right here. You're a big man.
Accounts for all of the homeless that are sheltered and unsheltered.
So we have backpacks that have stuff in them for hygiene, and we're going to be handing those out and making sure that anybody that doesn't know about any of the resources, that we give that to them.
from Social Work Action Group, it is truly a blessing to be a part of this and work alongside the county and the city of San Bernardino to serve those most in need. And that's what it's about. It's not about us. It's those people that aren't asking for help, that can't help themselves.
We're out in the community trying to address this issue because it's an issue that's not only here in San Bernardino County, but a nationwide issue. And everything we can do to partner with our community partners to make sure we address it is very, very important. Today is more important, not just because we're doing the point-in-time count. This is the point-in-time count
show us
plus.
how you do the
Not only
point-in-
we're going to be out there counting individuals, but getting them the services they need to show our compassion, to show that we care, and about the quality of life.
All right, so see, there's that. Let's see. Oh, here we go. 2022. Oh no, let's watch the 2026. He keeps getting,
Today
it
we're
gets
here
more
at the
and more
2026
advanced.
point-in-time count. When you go to some of these homeless encampments and you see some of the conditions that individuals
Oh,
go
look, he
through, your
upgraded
heart
his little
bleeds.
5, and now it's D5 instead of a ginormous number 5. Man, these people really do play Barbie Dreamhouse with their jobs, huh?
For them. And it's really about trying to improve the quality of life, not just for the homelessness, but for the residents that it impacts.
We use the data to actually even look from a standpoint of how to prevent homelessness.
Oh, Diane
and so
Rundles.
it's used in
There
so
she
many
is
different
again,
ways
without
that
the
just really
makeup.
guide our strategy and our capabilities in the community.
It's really about changing the landscape of our county and our city, because that's just so critical. By identifying individuals today, it provides the data we need to try to address problems in the near future. There's also an opportunity today to help some individuals. So it's more than just counting them. Some individuals will get some help today.
What kind of help?
One of the things we got to continue to do is stay focused, continue to make wise and fruitful investments that are really going to be impactful. So we have to grow and evolve as a group, as a county, as an organization. And I believe we have a leadership role to take in this and really rally our cities, rally our communities behind it, and to truly make a big dent in this issue.
I really appreciate all the volunteers and the collective effort today to count our homeless population, and I appreciate our Office of
Miss
Homeless
Rundles.
Services and how they're working with our team
Yes,
to do
Miss
interventions and
Rundles.
provide support for our community today as well.
I urge you next year, again in January, we will be doing this again. We always are
the swag
determined
people?
to
Did they
address
partner with this
the
time?
impacts of the homeless population, impacts the quality of life of our hardworking people, our property owners, our businesses, and ultimately our
Oh, this
government
lady. She was
services.
just up for
You look
election
at some of the
again, too.
challenges we have in trying to clean these neighborhoods up, and these are investments we want to make sure that these communities are nice for all of us. You know, we want people to be proud of our county and the county that we live in, but it's going to take collaboration, it's going to take teamwork, and it's going to really take a focused effort from the county of San Bernardino and all our community and city partners.
Damn. Okay, so that was 2026. Let's go back. I want to see 2022. Oh, they did it in 2020. Let's watch that one.
Hi, I'm Robert Lovingood, 1st District Supervisor, San Bernardino County. Joining with the HOPE team this morning, doing the point-in-time count within San Bernardino. It's a
Let's see, how do you do
process
it?
that's done every year for the state. It's done county-wide and also with the federal government. It's to identify chronically homeless, those suffering with mental health issues, and often abuse issues. So this morning we gathered at 6. We were divided into groups to cover the desert, and we were able to go to one kind of rather large, well-known encampment to where there's good connectivity, there's good conversation going on with the HOPE team and reaching out,
Yeah.
making people aware of
That's crazy.
services
This
that
is
are available,
January, so it's
and then reconnecting
freezing
them
up
as
there.
well.
Freezing in the high
It's an
desert.
interesting opportunity. And again, often the core of this, especially,
Damn, that lady
and
looked
what
like she
I'm,
just got
my
beat up.
opinion, and the younger reconnecting them as well.
Just- they didn't blur her
It's an
face.
interesting opportunity. And again,
She
often
was
the
covering
core
her
of this
mouth and then lets it go. Damn. Bro, like get her shelter immediately. Get her shelter immediately. Don't just go there and visit with her dog. God damn.
especially, and what my opinion in the younger groups is we're seeing a pattern of developing addictions through drug and alcohol abuse that's really keeping them in the location where they are. Homeless veterans within the county became a mission back 5 years ago, And I can tell you we've created more bed and taken more veterans off the street than any county in the state of California. It's interesting to look, especially within the HOPE program, at the number of lives that are being saved. And once we take a person off the street and they're back functional, there's a whole array of costs that are no longer burdened to the taxpayer.
Hold on, I want to see this. It looks like San Bernardino County Sheriff made their own, like, let's just watch this video. This is 10 years ago, brother. So 2016. Donald Trump just became president. Hey, they just went around and recorded homeless encampments, I guess. Homelessness in San Bernardino County. Real solutions for a complex problem.
There are reportedly close to 3,500 homeless people living on the streets in San Bernardino County. Traditional methods of dealing with this complex social issue are simply not working. Shuffling the homeless from one place to another, or arresting them and putting them in jail for a short time, is counterproductive to facing the problem of homelessness head-on. Law enforcement has seen firsthand how the cycle of arresting a homeless person for a misdemeanor violation has not proved to deter behavior. The costs of incarceration and court are draining.
I'm sorry, did he say homelessness is a bad behavior?
Firsthand how the cycle of arresting a homeless person for a misdemeanor violation has not proved to deter behavior. The costs of
You think homelessness is not a bad behavior and getting arrested is not going to prevent you from being homeless? Jesus Christ. Cheese and rice.
Incarceration and court are draining county resources, but not producing positive results. These were the contributing factors in the creation of the HOPE program. HOPE stands for Homeless Outreach and Proactive Enforcement Team. The team is comprised of one sergeant, one detective, and 2 deputy sheriffs working full-time. One part-time reserve deputy is also instrumental in the program.
The HOPE team evolved from Sheriff McMahon's vision to improve quality of life throughout the county of San Bernardino and to find real solutions in moving the homeless population back into mainstream society and beyond homelessness.
Well, here we are 10 years later.
The main focus of the HOPE team is to reach out to chronically homeless individuals throughout the county of San Bernardino. These are homeless individuals that have been homeless for the past year or more, or have had 4 instances of homelessness over the past 3 years. The HOPE model is a paradigm shift in law enforcement. By making fundamental changes to the way we approach homelessness throughout the county of San Bernardino, we have been able to build a bond and relationship with the homeless population. By building trust, we have been able to offer numerous services from the basic necessities to housing.
The strategy that we use as a HOPE team is to conduct outreach, to go out actually into the field and make contact with the homeless people in their actual camps. We go out, we identify them, find out their specific needs, and see where they might be able to fit into some of our housing programs that we utilize. A lot of the people we encounter aren't necessarily ready to go directly into a housing program that we can offer them at that time. They, for some reason, either prefer to be homeless or are leery or skeptical of us as a sheriff's department providing them with this kind of assistance. A lot of the statistics that we've discovered through our research, we studied a lot of the successful homeless programs throughout the country that other police departments are using, and a lot of that research indicates that it can take up to 75 contacts with these folks in order to get them to buy off into going along with one of these housing programs. But we feel that we've been fairly successful. We've been a full-time team since the beginning of 2014, and since then we've been successfully able to house over 100 individuals into a housing program.
So the HOPE team works with about 350 homeless service providers throughout the entire county. It's 20,000 plus square miles. These encompass everything from our faith-based organizations, our church and organizations like that, the VA and their affiliates, as well as our nonprofit organizations. Now you may think, how can 2 deputies, a detective, a reserve, and a sergeant cover 20,000 square miles? Well, we can't. That's why we really do call on our service providers to work collaboratively as a network to mesh together to get somebody moved beyond homelessness. And they have to do that cohesively, otherwise the process just doesn't work. Of course, we do work directly with the VA hospital in Loma Linda, but they have many offshoots or affiliates that we work with. US Vets, KEYS, which stands for Knowledge and Education for Your Success, and Lighthouse. These three groups work with the VA collaboratively. And that's when we talked about collaboration a little bit earlier. Collaboration is key, and these groups really do personify the collaboration. For instance, if we have a gentleman in the high desert who is a veteran and wants to get service, but say he wants to move down to the valley, well, that's easy. One group will call the other that works in the group in the high desert will call the group that works in the valley, and they'll almost do a case transfer and work together collaboratively, networking to get that person into a program or a housing or permanent supportive housing. So another group we work with is the Department of Behavioral Health. And this encompasses two main teams that we work with. And although the Department of Behavioral Health has many teams, the majority of who we work with are called the HOST team, H-O-S-T. That's a Housing Outreach Support Team. This is a group of 5 clinicians that rides along with us out in the field to make contact, because they have the expertise as deputy sheriffs we just don't have, knowing how to recognize mental illness and eliminating some of those barriers to get people into housing. Another group from behavioral health is Our Best. They work with treatment-resistant individuals, people who we have in the chronic homeless population that like the lifestyle necessarily are so accustomed to being out on the street that they're not used to being offered a service. So Our Best works with that resistant population to offer them solutions, alternatives, if you will, to being out on the street. And it's more of a layered, long-term approach. Recently, another group we've started to work with through the Department of Behavioral Health is rehabilitation services that deal with people who are dealing with alcoholism or drug addiction. And these people actually get some of our clients into rehab programs or sober living programs, and that is their specialty. And that's what we need to do, identify exactly the service these people need and get them to that service with the least amount of paperwork or bureaucracy. Another player in the collaboration is a very large player, as a matter of fact, is our faith-based organizations or our church organizations who have been dealing exclusively with the homeless population for quite some time. We encourage them to give them a pamphlet, say, about a service or about the Hope Team, have scheduled feedings, work together collaboratively. We've seen really good success here in the Valley with many churches coming together, and it goes across all denominations. It doesn't matter if they believe in a particular faith. They all want to come together for one goal, and that's exactly what we need to see, and it works really well. And we do preach that. We're seeing a lot of our faith-based organizations embracing that change to find out how to work more effectively. In essence, work smarter, not harder. So our nonprofits have already begun to work collaboratively or network. A good example of this would be Life Community Development in the city of Adelanto. They've begun servicing the female veteran population, as well as your traditional homeless person who's out on the street. We like to see our nonprofits branching out beyond what they're comfortable with or what they're used to, and encompassing a little more of those populations to get people moved beyond homelessness and off the street. While on the streets, access to drugs and alcohol is unlimited. For lifelong addicts, this seems like an impossible obstacle to overcome. Some programs now realize this and allow them to enter treatment while still on drugs or alcohol. These programs have had a very positive success rate. Approximately 1 in 3 homeless suffer from some form of behavioral health issue, whether it's diagnosed or not. Because they are not receiving treatment, they have difficulty making rational decisions for their situation. Getting them into structured programs with supportive staff provides individualized treatment plans essential to regain mental stability. Many homeless people have grown comfortable in their surroundings and circumstances. They have developed a routine on the streets which becomes their home, and the prospect of change is overwhelming to them. Connecting with these individuals regularly over a long period of time can build trust and conquer the fear enough to enter a program. At this time, pets are not allowed in the transitional housing programs or shelters for the homeless. The majority of homeless pet owners refuse help because they will not leave their pet. It would be akin to saying you can't bring your family member with you. Until this issue is addressed and taken into consideration, the pathway out of homelessness for these people will be more difficult to accomplish.
In 2004, I was last working out at Fort Irwin, which is right outside of Barstow, and I got laid off for the first time in my life. and the company I work for asked me to stay in the motel I was at for 30 days, and they paid for it. And they said to call them back in 30 days and that they would have another job to send me to. So during that 30 days, I drank and used drugs every day, and I guess that's when I kicked off my alcoholism and became a drug addict. And I wound up down here. Homeless. I drank King Cobra beer here every day. I smoked marijuana nonstop, and I bought and sold a lot of methamphetamine right here. Going back to jail, getting out, getting loaded again, going back to jail, getting loaded again. It was just a terrible cycle. My first contact with Project Hope was I was here at my camp, and all of a sudden there were a couple officers in front of me smiling. And this was different. My dogs weren't barking. And I guess they sensed their energy, that they weren't here to get me. And they told me, we're not here to arrest you, Kevin. We want to get you some help, you know? And at first I was a little leery of this, you know? I didn't really trust them at first, you know? So I was attempting to hide my drugs and alcohol. So they told me, we're not here to arrest you, we're here to help you. And they told me that they could help me, and that I didn't need to live like this anymore. And at that time, I believe they took a little information from me, you know, like my name, my social security number, my date of birth. They asked me how long I'd been out here. It was during that time that the seed had been planted by them, you know, and it was during that time that I decided to quit living the way I was living, quit doing drugs, quit drinking. And I just decided to change my life, and it was, you know, I really do have Project Hope to thank for that.
Here at Victor Valley Rescue Mission, we help the less fortunate, families in our community that are in need of hygiene items, clothing, food, the essentials in life. Victor Valley Rescue Mission has a food pantry at four different locations, and where we give a box of food to families in need. One of our programs is the shower program. What we do is provide a place for our homeless guests to come in and take a shower. We provide clothing, hygiene items, a towel, razors, anything that's needed to take a shower and clean themselves up. So in the past, we were able to reach our guests because they came to us. They came to our different locations to receive food or hygiene items. What we're seeing now through the HOPE program is that we are seeing more chronic homeless people coming to us asking for help. The ones we weren't able to reach because they were so deep in the river or wouldn't walk into the city. So we are seeing more of them, and we're seeing more of them wanting help because they have hope. The interesting name about the HOPE program is they are giving people hope because they're going to the places that nobody really wants to go to.
I wasn't always homeless. You know, I had a good job, I had a family with children, home. I had all the material things that I thought would make a typical American happy, but it didn't. And I turned to alcohol to suppress the pain I was feeling and the inadequacy that I felt about myself and where I was going. And I seen the effects that it was having on my children and my family, and the only thing I could do at the time was to run, and that's what I did. I ran, and I found myself homeless. Towards the end of my homelessness, I seek the Lord, you know, because I couldn't do it anymore, and I used all my excuses, I used all my plans. And all I did is find myself in the same situation. And I couldn't get myself out of it, even though I wanted desperately to get out of it. I just put myself in a situation to where I wasn't presentable to anybody, not even to myself. So in my reaching, the Lord put people in my life that got me started on my path to my recovery, my life recovery. And I was directed to the shower program. And that's where it really hit me, the people that I met there, how respectful they were to us and to the other individuals that were there at the shower program, just trying to get cleaned up, to the point where they were giving food and clothing and everything that was needed to, lift up our self-esteem and our dignity, with words of encouragement and hope. And I found out more about Rescue Mission as my time visiting the shower program. I became more familiar with the people and the organization, if you will, and programs that they offered. And one was the Life Recovery Program. Upon my completion of the recovery program, I was given an opportunity to work for Rescue Mission. I cook for the community on a daily basis. We do get donations on a daily basis from everywhere, Walmart, Target, Food for Less. My job is to organize and to sort and to put in categories for our shower program, also for our pantries that we do 3 times a week. Me being from there helps me understand the people that are homeless, because I know how they feel, that they're inadequate to be involved in society, lost, and no way out. I think that with Project Hope, they see that the attitudes of the police department and the city as a whole care for them, and that changes their attitude to see that there is people out there that care, that they're individuals, that they're human, and that there is a way. A friend of mine who I used to walk the streets with, he came in, got some coffee, and we were talking, and he brought up the situation of Project Hope at the river. When they see police, that they're coming to get them, or they're coming to disrupt their livelihood, their home. The change of the policeman's attitude from wanting to come in and disrupt and arrest, to where they're coming with provisions, with care in their hearts and in their language, and that they're looking to us as human beings, that they care about us, that they want to help us.
So in the future, we'd like to see the Hope Team expand. And by this, I mean expand into the jail or the correctional facilities, so we could identify somebody who was at risk at being homeless when they're being released. Right now, unfortunately, when they're, for lack of a better term, out the door, some people don't have anywhere to go, and they have no idea how to cover very basic needs. Where am I going to sleep? How am I going to eat? How am I going to be sheltered? So we want to be able to identify that population while still in custody and begin working with them months, weeks, or even days before they're out on the street. So when they leave our correctional facilities, they have an idea where they need to go and what they need to do. Another exciting part of the future is currently we're working with the Public Defender's Office, the District Attorney's Office, and the presiding judge in the county to bring back homeless court. This is a great opportunity to give somebody who is literally buried under fines and fees and possible warrants to get out from underneath that. But it's not a freebie. They have to work maybe in a 30, 60, 90-day program or up to a year and stay in that program and show success. Then we work with the public defender and the district attorney and a judge who's assigned to us to say, hey, listen, you've gotten through this program, you're building yourself up, here's what we're going to do. We're going to dismiss those charges as long as you have success. And that gives some people an incentive. Unfortunately, that's what people need, maybe a little goal, a little incentive, something to work toward. And we'd like to put that back into place. Now, when I say ending homelessness, we think that's a realistic goal? No, absolutely not. But there is something called a virtual zero. We can have a virtual zero on veteran homelessness. This is already a proven program. We can have a virtual zero on chronic homelessness. That's somebody who's been on the street a year or longer, or have had 4 more instances of homelessness in 3 years. These are very manageable populations that we can have a virtual zero on. So when I speak about ending homelessness, I talk about a virtual zero, which is absolutely achievable.
All right, I'm back, everyone. I'm back. This is a good video.
Treating the homeless with courtesy and respect can give them energy to begin to lift themselves.
They don't know like that they're exposing themselves, but this is great. They've shown so much information. I don't think this program is around anymore. We'll look it up in a second.
Themselves out of a bad situation. It tells them they have value. Volunteer your time and talents at shelters, food banks, soup kitchens, and other homeless outreaches. Offer financial support and donate material items to a well-known, reputable organization in your community.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, of course.
Hey guys, welcome back to Living in the High Desert. Angelica Bonilla here with
what's up,
Excellence Real Estate
Angelica?
and the Bonilla Group. So today we're gonna go tour the Wellness Center, which is the homeless shelter that they built here in Old Town, Victorville.
Wow.
Okay, so I want to take you through, on D Street. So I want to start showing you the area right as soon as we go under the bridge. So I'm probably going to play some music or some kind of... So it's on that side of the...
I don't think I've ever been through here.
So it's on this side of the road.
There you go, Old Town Victorville. I mean, she's basically driving and recording at the same time. It's bad.
The park is right there, which they're fixing that park too.
Alright, let's
So, yeah, so I'm waiting out here at the Wellness Center. They're gonna start the tour pretty soon, and
Wait,
we're gonna be
doing a
able to
tour?
see all of the buildings. They're gonna tell us what they're offering to, or the services that they're gonna be offering. Okay, so I'm in the parking. I'm right outside. The park is right there, which they're fixing that park too. I mean, they're working on the playground right there. And this is my little group of people that were waiting for the tour to
Do we
start.
see any big people? No, I don't recognize anyone.
Morning, guys. Yeah, welcome.
Thank you. Hey.
Yeah, so this is the City of Victorville's Wellness Center. Okay. This point of entry here that you guys just came through is the only point of entry in the entire campus.
Okay, it's like, it looks like it's like an gated housing? What is this?
They will
See the room.
So this building right here is the medical clinic. We got
recreational space.
I'm gonna subscribe to Living in High Desert, California.
The medical clinic.
2.83 thousand subscribers. Come on, bro. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already.
Can you hold the door? Can you? Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So you guys can feel free to check out. They're fully staffed with determine their need, their level of need and support that they're gonna can come. That be the
They're nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's great. By the way, the construction for all of this, if any of you guys are interested in it.
Thank you.
And then back in this hallway is all just
computer
offices,
room.
so really not too much to see back there, except for the conference room with diabetes, and you're trying to tell them to be healthy and not
food area.
training groups, meetings with clients.
I wonder what it looks like now.
For those, there's a lot of therapy
Or
opportunities
basketball.
there. A lot of ways that clients can take ownership.
Okay, let's see. living room areas.
Right here. So on the other side of each of these is a bathrooms area. So the bathrooms are over here.
So you'll have to walk outside.
Yes. Yes. Yep, the restrooms are here. Some of the rooms
The room's open.
have bathrooms inside of them. And those are people that
Yeah, go check out the room.
those people, so the family units.
All right, they have a place for security cameras, but it's not up yet.
Yes. Yeah, they're also bigger. They have bathrooms inside of them. Yeah.
Are they all made out of
And then so pretty much the whole
storage
campus
containers? No, just some. All right.
This is a room, guys. They all have a window, a desk, a bed, and storage. So, imagine living in this.
Thank you. That's it.
I mean,
It's
not
like a
bad.
Japanese hotel.
It's beautiful. Where somebody can feel safe, warm. What a great job. This is one of the pods. And they all have a door.
I want to see people living in it. Hold on. Like, I want to see. Let's see. Maybe we could go to like. Let's see videos.
The city has created a team of 4 officers that go out every day and make contact with our most vulnerable and offer them shelter and services. When we make contact with our unhoused community, we are offering emergency shelter through our wellness center here. We are also offering food resources. We offer water, and we connect them to case managers through our partner contract servicer, Simba Outreach. So if they did choose to stay on this and the time and the money and the effort that they
Bridget has been nothing but pleasant. She is always looking out for everyone here. She's very selfless by the way that she advocates for other patients on site. With the homeless population, there is often a stigma. We see it every day. In reality, this could happen to you and I. Since it could happen to you and I, we want to ensure that we're taking care of each other because they deserve that same compassion and dignity and also advocacy. Everyone's journey looks a little bit different. Simba's approach to wellness is extremely unique just because we do focus on the patient as a whole. We do run baseline labs for all of our patients. Oftentimes when a patient is unhoused, they're in survival mode. A lot of their health conditions and health issues take a backseat. So that's why it's so important when we do the baseline labs here at the Wellness Center, because we're able to really determine kind of where their health is standing the moment that they come in.
I've been in a medical pod before. When I got here, I didn't know that I had hypoglycemia. I'm in a single pod now. I love it. Being by myself, I've got time to focus on me and take time to rest, take time to just adapt. The garden. It was time for myself to be alone, and it was actually really therapy for me, you know, just the calm. A lot of people will sit there and they see everything starting to grow, and they go and they look around, they talk. It's a conversational piece for many people. I've attended a lot of classes. We have meetings, we have therapy group, and I've been attending as much as I can. I love the staff. We interact, we find out a lot about people and about ourselves, and our instructors are great. From the Simba Center, they offer peer support, they offer case management, they offer, if we need rides, they really work with us to our needs, and it's specific to the person's needs. Not everybody is the same, so it's not like we're working a program, we're working to benefit the person, the whole person. It's not just for housing, it's the whole cluster of benefits and resources here. I have just signed up with Step Up. They came in and we signed a contract for permanent housing. We have a time frame of 3 months to be in my new home. I encourage many people to come to the Wellness Center. Whatever they're going through, they could be going through medical issues. They come here for wellness care, for recuperation. So I encourage anybody that I see around town, anybody that asks or may not know, that this is a good place to be. It's a safe place to be. It's comfortable.
That's great.
And it does work.
At the Wellness Center, we do offer wraparound services. We have all the services that the patient needs here on site. We provide housing navigation services, medical services such as enhanced care management, recuperative care, mental health services, and substance use disorder services. In just over 2 years, the Wellness Center has been successful in graduating over 200 individuals into permanent housing.
Homelessness is all walks of life. I meet incredible people every day. You don't know what they're going through, whether they got sick, whether they just lost their job, whether they lost their home. You know, there's many different things that happen. So I encourage anybody, you know, if you don't speak to somebody, you'll never know.
Since opening in December 2023, the Wellness Center has contributed to a 57% reduction in unsheltered homelessness and 27% decrease in overall homelessness in the city of Victorville. Huh. Oops. Interesting. Okay. So that seems good. Trying to think, like, I want to see, like, someone who lives there.
The city of Victorville has had the second highest number of homelessness in San Bernardino County for quite some time.
This story
really,
is paid for by an
focused on trying to
advertiser.
come up with
Members
a
of the
creative
editorial and
solution
news
to
staff of the
address
US
those
Today
types
network
of
are not involved in the
shortfalls
creation of this
as a
content.
community.
The Pfizer Foundation and Direct Relief. Just over 80 miles from. Okay, let's see.
I went through a really, really difficult time. When I had lost my husband, I lost my father and my grandfather all in the same year. During that time, I also gave birth to my first son, but I wasn't aware that I had postpartum depression. I didn't know anything about therapy, getting mental health services, or the things that I was facing at that time. So after finding myself homeless with my son, I fell into drug addiction. I found the best next thing that would make the pain and everything that I was going through just disappeared. And I was about to actually, commit suicide.
The High Desert, it's a rural community within Southern California. Extremely hot summers and extremely cold winters.
Yeah.
The elements aren't too friendly to individuals who are housed in encampments or are living on the street. San Bernardino County is the largest county by landmass in the nation, and with that you have issues when it comes to services being provided. The city of Victorville has had the second highest number of homelessness in San Bernardino County for quite some time. We've really focused on trying to come up with a creative solution to address those types of shortfalls as a community.
Especially the population we serve with the homeless, there's not a lot of providers going to them. And so we felt like it would be advantageous to the community to provide access to those services where people are.
I found the case manager's phone number. She said, don't hang up, because as we are talking, coordinating transportation to pick you up and have you transferred over to a residential program for you and your son, and you're gonna get the help that you need.
Oh no, it's a religious thing. Ooh. Okay, sorry. Let me pause that. I just wanted to see who that guy from Simba was. They interviewed him, this guy. His very dark hair. Wait, where else did we see him? Was he the guy giving the tour here? I think so. Yeah. This guy. The guy at the beginning of the tour. Here you go. Yeah, this is the same guy. He just looks more sleazy. excuse me, he doesn't look that good as he does in this video here. It's the same guy. Okay. Dr. Sean Smith. What is he a doctor of? Yeah, because I felt like he wasn't giving a very good tour. He was like kind of unenthusiastic, and I was like, who is this just random employee? Whatever. Okay, no, he's the CEO. All right, so it's a religious thing. Okay, let's continue. We're learning a lot here.
A vision that they had. We don't just have a housing approach or just a treatment approach. We're focused on treatment and housing.
Emphasizing and addressing the health
they had. We don't just have a housing.
Okay, I may not know anything about tobacco use, but homie looks like he's done dip or something. Just watch the way he moves his mouth when he talks.
At the Wellness Center, an opportunity came for us
not this guy.
to be able to partner with the city in a healthcare and housing vision that they had. We don't just have a housing approach or just a treatment approach. We're focused on treatment and housing.
Where he has something inside his mouth
addressing
right
the
there in the
healthcare
moment.
aspect, running our medical
Yeah,
clinics
he's got a
on
little
site,
Zyn pack
our
right there.
behavioral health services, teaming up with our outreach team to provide outreach and street medicine, and then providing the housing aspect after someone graduates with that aftercare service.
So our effort is to make people what we call housing ready. Do you have a healthy meal, clothing?
And then address someone's mental health or address someone's healthcare needs. You have to put all the pieces of their puzzle back together. Our wraparound approach is essential to not only helping someone with their housing, but if you target certain life domains that really stabilize an individual, even after our care is completed and the person moves on, they're more likely to be sustainable and be successful.
And that's really what we've taken in a direct approach at Simba. We want to understand your story. We want to understand where you've come from, the challenges that you've had, what you've overcome, what you've tried before for any challenge you're having, what has been done before. It ensures that the patients get their basic needs met first. There are many Americans that are at risk.
Feel good and
people are given the proper circumstances.
The street and getting them
with me, and I just want to continue to help.
All right. The Simba Center was founded by a dedicated team of healthcare professionals and faith-driven leaders, united by a shared mission to serve the most vulnerable with compassion, dignity, and hope. Rooted in faith and driven by purpose, Simba is a healthcare provider committed to fighting homelessness and restoring hope in the high desert community.
In 2015, I met Bowtie Brian. Dr. Bowtie Brian was a character.
When I met Sean, it was an odd couple, to say the least. I was walking around in a bow tie, singing songs on stage. He was president of our class.
I can't watch that. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Dr. Bow Tie Brian. Oh man, he has an Instagram. know. They look. Okay. Well, Bowtie Brian, we are confirmed on Pride Month. Um. Okay. All right. Oh, he's a pharmacist. There we go. There we go. There we go. I just wanted to know what kind of medical stuff he did. Sorry, it's just they said healthcare. It's just like, what does that mean? Let's be friends, Dr. Bowtie Brian, now Niwam at Loma Linda graduate. It's all coming together. It always comes back. All right. A local pharmacist discussed the importance of teaching students soft skills. At Victor, I think this is Victor, whatever. Okay. Let's heart this. You know what? We're gonna reblog it. Shout out to Elon Musk. Follow me on Twitter. I am Angelina Ballerina on Twitter. This is my good Twitter account. I mean my personal Twitter account. So yeah, shout out to that. Follow that. Okay, let's see. Let's find out more about Mr. Dr. Bro. Well, I should have just highlighted his name. Brian Nimwagi. Let's see. That's why he goes by Dr. Bowtie. High Desert City finds innovative solutions. Okay. Oh. The plot goes deeper. Ontario unveils. God damn it, frickin' paywall every time, brother. Come on, Daily Bulletin. Come on. No, I'm not going to let you allow. Okay. All right. Thank you, archive buttons. Okay. As I was saying, the plot thickens. Ontario unveils former motel transformed into housing for homeless. I thought this was high desert. Now we're in Ontario, right? Ontario unveiled a former motel transformed into interim and emergency housing at a ribbon cutting ceremony this week. The Wellness Center, a city owned facility at 1522 West Mission Boulevard, will provide short term and emergency housing for residents experiencing homelessness. The Simba Center, a Victorville based nonprofit, focuses on fighting homelessness, will work with Ontario to bring medical professionals, mental health professionals, and substance abuse counselors to the facility to provide services to residents. Now that homeless shelters in our city, we are able to connect homeless individuals to the wellness center, and then Simba takes over and starts a pathway to their housing stability plan, said Ashley Esquivel, the city's homeless solution manager. Esquivel, excuse me. Sean Smith and Bowtie Brian, co-founders of Simba, attended the unveiling and called their nonprofit, its project, a quote-unquote dorm room dream that has become a dream come true. We are a faith-based nonprofit organization that is focused on addressing the gaps on access to healthcare and housing for people experiencing homelessness, Smith said. On Tuesday, December 2nd, local officials and service providers toured the former motel, its transformation, and its first two phases of the Wellness Center development. This phase includes 26 short-term emergency beds. The short, okay, blah, blah, blah. So 26, that's it. All right. Demolition has already begun next door for the second phase of the project. The expansion would allow for a wider range of clients that includes a large community kitchen and additional emergency blah, blah, blah. Okay. The Wellness Center will serve as a bridge for unhoused individuals seeking stability, helping them connect to long-term housing, mental support, employment assistance, and other critical services such as Christianity. That was not written there, but that's what they're doing. Phase 1 of the project costs nearly $8 million, and the total cost of the project would be $70 million, according to McCallie. Allery? I don't know who that person is. Wow. According to 2025 point in time count, San Bernardino on annual canvas, increased 50% over the, okay, so Ontario is increasing, I guess, in homelessness. Interesting. Oh, wait, no, we can't watch this. That's too much. Hold on, let me save this. And you know what? What health? Primary care, behavioral health, substance use counseling, recuperative care. So all the employees do this, or they have one employee for whether someone is facing short-term challenge or navigating a long-term journey. We're here to offer support every step of the way. Simba provides integrated services that combine physical, mental, and behavioral health care into one supportive setting using an interdisciplinary care approach. Interesting. Who has oversight on these people? You know, why is it not the city of Victorville or San Bernardino County the one really doing it? Okay. Life skills. All right. Let's to embody Christ's love by bridging the gap in access to healthcare and housing through innovative, community driven solutions. Look, there's the guy. He's like a doctor. Wait, what is yoke? Someone just told me what yoke means. Um, the value of yoke represents Simba Center's belief. I think Susan told me about yoke. I think it's a. Hold on. Exactly. Meaning. In biblical theology, a yoke refers to a discipline or teaching. When Jesus offers a yoke that is easy, that doesn't make sense. Huh. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Value of yoke represents Simba's center belief in collaboration and unity. We understand the meaningful change is best achieved when people come together. Let me just search this. The value of yoke. Because I don't know what the hell. But it comes to my mind. Not the financial. Okay.
There are things that we are to do. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. What does he say in verse 30 of Matthew 11? For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. What is a yoke? A yoke is what an ox would wear when an ox pulled a plow. It
Yeah.
implies work, something to do. Christianity,
scary.
though it is not a do to get salvation religion, it is a religion of doing, but we do because we have been given salvation. We do not do so we earn salvation. You might think that's a insignificant difference, but it is a difference the size of the universe. There are things that we are to do. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls.
Okay. So Simba. Okay, so yoke is the Y in Simba. All right. But like, what church do they go to? You know. Okay, they're part of the High Desert Chamber of Commerce. Pharmacy alums bring healthcare services to first of its kind homeless shelter. So are you telling me they're both just pharmacy people? But like homie had the little thingy in the ears and had it on a patient. Do pharmacists do that? Oh man. Several days a week, Professor Sean Smith, PharmD, drives to Victorville to lead a team of 40 healthcare and social service providers working together to help people experience homelessness find a path forward. The Loma Linda University School of Pharmacy graduate co-founder Simba Center and a faith-based nonprofit, blah blah blah. Simba Center works out of Victorville. Okay. This is just a press release. Essentially, fucking, I mean, started in a dorm room. Okay. Smith, CEO of Simba Center, is an assistant professor at Western University of Health Sciences College of Pharmacy. He teaches longitudinal physical assessment and tobacco cessation curriculum. Okay. The Wellness Center Clinic is a practice site for his students. Ah. I train and show them how to leverage community resources to provide services, Smith said. Since the pandemic, Simba Center has been at the forefront of healthcare in Victorville, bringing vaccines, wound care, and other medical services to shelter and encampments in the region. Today, Simba Center's team provides healthcare at the Wellness Center dedicated to clinic space which Smith says is a stark contrast from seeing patients in homelessness shelter closets or makeshift tents. Okay. All right. 5 Simba Center healthcare team members have more than a commitment to making man whole in common. They are also Loma Linda University graduates recruited by Smith. Okay, so they have an RN on there. They have a, I don't know what, PhD, FNP, MSN. uh OT? I don't, oh, occupational therapist. Okay, but what is the MSN? Tyler has worked with homeless patients in his entire life. Smith working part time. Okay. Okay, here's an actual MD doctor, Joshua. Okay, so it's these people. Wendit's involvement in street medicine as a medical student at Loma Linda University prepared his heart for service with the Victorville Clinic. Smith says he needed a physician to get the things off the ground. Yeah, because the physician is like the main provider. Oh my God. Okay. Went through the music ministry at their church. I swear, if the church that they all go to is Water of Life or something. No, but I mean, they went to Loma Linda, so. Oh, okay. And asked him for help, although Wendit was already working full time and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oh, but the doctor is not even a full time employee. He agreed to help with the clinic as a volunteer until Smith could find another physician to serve as a permanent full-time employee. In the meantime, Wendit sees patients via video visits. So he's not even on site. Okay. So there's Darlene Tyler back there. She is the MSN. What is that? That has to be like let me just search all these acronyms. Master of Science in Nursing. There you go. That's what MSN stands for. And then, what is the other thing? Family Nurse Practitioner, FNP, and PhD. She has it. Okay. So she's probably doing a lot of the heavy lifting if the main doctor, MD doctor, is not there. Okay. And then this guy. I don't think a nurse can write prescriptions. Oh, but I don't think she's a nurse practitioner because they would probably say nurse practitioner. Um, yeah. Well, oh no, wait. FNP, is that a nurse practitioner? Oh well. Okay. Family nurse practitioner, I think it is. You might be right. Yes, family nurse practitioner. All right, we learned excuse me, two new thingies, acronyms today. Okay, and then Sean Smith, he's just the pharmacist, but the CEO of this whole thing. And then Joshua Windit is back there, the actual doctor. Oh, I see. That's why she's wearing a silly little doctor's coat, because she could write prescription. I'm sorry. Okay, and then this guy's an occupational therapist, and then this lady, Gaia, I guess, she's also a pharmacist, like the CEO. All right, here we go. Rooted in faith. Are they going to tell us what church they go to? Smith attributes his life path and the people he's met to God's leading. Of course, I put in the work every day, but many things have aligned that otherwise would have seemed impossible, Smith said. Loma Linda University not only taught me how to care for patients, it taught me how to ensure my practice is rooted in faith. He believes his outlook would have been very different had he attended another school. Loma Linda School of Pharmacy inspired me to continue the teaching and healing ministry of Jesus Christ, Smith said. This calls for a community transformation, to push the boundaries of what is, to see how pharmacists can be more innovative, on the forefront of providing healthcare for patients. Yeah. That's it. Damn. All right. Let's see. No, he meant the doctor at his church. Let's search up Josh Wendit. He looks way older in that picture. I guess it's just because the sun's in his eyes. But okay. Oh no. So he's a doctor and a performing arts person? Oh no. What's up with all these people? The other guy, the co-owner, the bow tie Brian, he was a performing arts guy. What is it? They're connected with performing arts and church. Okay, let's see. Oh, he has an Instagram? No, Joshua No, he's not bald. Let's see. No, that's not him. All right. Let's see. News. What kind of research project title is this? Retrospective analysis of never events in breast reconstruction patients. It's a plastic surgery. Is he a plastic surgery doctor? No, he says assistant professor, family medicine, but he's doing research on plastic surgery? It is weird. All right, all right. Let's see. Sean Smith. That's such a generic name. Smith Farm. Pharm. Okay, he has an Instagram. Okay. This is good. We can find out what church he goes to, I'm sure. Bro, he's such a dude, bro. Cornhole champs. Hashtag 2 times at Zach Weirman. Significant other to the host. Oh my god, bro. He's a beach bro. Nothing like the beach with the family. Oh no, are we the same age? Oh no, okay. Ballin since 91. Okay, so he was born in 91. Oh man, okay. Did he play football? All right. Oh, he is a football guy. I see it. Okay, let's see. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. No one had a greater impact on my life than my grandfather. His happiness and joy will be missed by all who knew him. Until we meet again, I will be a living testimony of your faithfulness. There he is back there. But like, what is he? He's singing. His grandfather's a singer too. Oh my god. Always a blast with the kiddos. Here he is with his homie, Dr. Bowtie Brian. God, never trust someone who makes bow ties their identity. Case in point, Tucker Carlson. Oh, but then we have Bill Nye the Science Guy. But are bow ties his identity? No, he's a science guy. That's his identity. Bow ties are just there. But I don't know. Congratulations to these doctors for graduating from pharmacy school last week. This special group -1. Okay, who the hell cares? Oh, completed their training at Simba Center. Um, hmm. Devoted countless hours to serving homelessness, low income, and uninsured patients with limited access to healthcare. Each of them contributed uniquely to our clinic and made their mark on our organization. Crazy. So, I mean, yes, they are making the connections. They are doing the things, making the money, I mean, they are helping people. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just don't understand why it has to be rooted in faith. There was just too much of the words rooted in faith. Yeah. I'm going to follow him. Why not? Okay. Wait, so he's a professor at Western University? Where is this at? Oh, it's in Pomona. Okay. 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 All right. All right. All right. Damn, my Instagram account got locked. I don't know. I just saw that I got a bunch of notifications that popped up that said it couldn't get loaded or the page couldn't load. And then on my phone, I got an email saying, "We locked your Instagram account due to suspicious activity." And it's just like, well, it's like, yeah, because I'm following all these random people. And they're all like, oh, man. Okay. Well, yeah, this is the guy.
Nurse practitioner, one's a psychiatric nurse practitioner. So that's really helpful because we see a lot of schizophrenia and bipolar disorder with the population. So it's important that they get medication for those specific disease, the conditions. And then for the other side, we have therapists. So we have licensed marriage and family therapists on site. And this is also a training space as well. So we have professionals from Azusa Pacific, Victor Valley College, Loma Linda, Western University, all training in this facility.
Yeah, because he's a professor
and not just
at
on
Western
the medical and mental health
University.
side, but also on the case manager and social worker side. So we have social work trainees coming from UMass, I think it used to be called Brighton, I think, their campus down in Riverside, and then Cal Baptist as well. So yeah, it's a training ground for people to learn how to provide care in under-resourced settings. And I think a lot of our students and trainees come away with a breadth of experience and really understand a little bit more about this population and what it takes to provide care for them. And it's complex, no doubt about it. It's not easy, but I think a lot of people gain an appreciation for the work. Yeah. Any other questions about the medical side of things?
Could they have ongoing care here? Or
Yeah,
are you
great question.
Trying to get them over to DVH or other
providers? So good question. We've found that the resources in the county are limited in terms of, especially Department of Behavioral Health. So our goal is to maintain care while they're, so say someone is at the facility and they don't have to, they choose to have our organization be their primary care provider. When they leave, they can maintain this clinic, even if they don't live here. They can maintain their therapist, and we also want to maintain.
He said, like Obama, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor.
Staff that they've been over there, and we just have not had enough space. So this will be awesome. We're super excited to move in. The staff are just ecstatic. Haven't I founded this organization 4 years ago, and I had yet to have an office, so I finally have an office. And at if you guys have been over there, but yeah, we have the staff that they've been over there, and we just have not had enough space. So this will be awesome. We're super excited to move in. The staff are just ecstatic. I founded this organization 4 years ago, and I had yet to have an office, so I finally have an office. And at most of I've been giving any space that there is, I try to give it to our staff who are actually working with the clients directly. And it's just gonna be cool for everyone to have their own
this approach. Yeah. So we can get as many people off the street and housed as possible. Yes.
Is there? Wow. The view from here is pretty crazy. You know, you're gonna have kennels for their people to have dogs, because I guess they can have one dog. It's in and out. That's pretty.
This is a great channel. I love this.
Hey guys, welcome back to Living. So we're on.
Yeah. Okay. Bro, he still has a MySpace page? Okay, it looks like it's dead. Never mind. Yo, ProPublica has their things in here. Interesting. Because the Simba Center is tax exempt. That's crazy. Their revenue is 6.83 million, but their expenses is 5.9. They have 2.7 million in assets that's developed a lot over time. Huh. Let me save this for later. Huh. Let's see. So Mr. Brian has his own pharmacy. Whoops. Of course, it's Roy Rogers Drive. Open link in a new tab. Oh my god. This is Roy Rogers Pharmacy. It's a Walgreens. I mean, Roy Rogers Pharmacy. This is where Brian works. He works at a Walgreens. Huh. Interesting. Let's see. Website. No, this web page isn't working. How many nonprofits has Homie had? JNN Foundation. Bear, Delaware? Tax exempt since March 2012. Nonprofit organization. Okay, hold on. JNN Foundation. JNN Foundation strives to realize the full potential of our disadvantaged and displaced children and create opportunities for poor women who wish to gain knowledge, skills. Bro, this is just someone's like regular ass Facebook page. They have a phone number. Okay, let's see. Not the Mish. Okay, that's the same logo as the other. Let's see. 13 years ago.
The kids here cannot thank you enough, and I know you don't get enough recognition for that. It's hard work, and what the JNN Foundation does is try to help you in the work that you've already started. JNN stands for Joseph Nyabiosi Nyakundi. We know him as a great man for the works that he used to do. He had a few schools where he helped educate a lot of people. He built a church. He's a community leader. And we felt that because of the kind of life we lived, because of the way he touched people's lives, we owed it to him to create a foundation to try to leave that legacy on. So what we have here right now is the JNN Foundation.
Oh, where is this? It's for orphans and mothers that need help. What the? This is. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's corrupt.
Some of the challenges that
I mean, the like file
motherly
is
care
corrupt.
face is like when the children get sick. Children get sick. Another time, one boy was sick. He had a problem with the intestines. Um, they got twisted, and he needed the operation. Imagine the kind of challenges that we get.
It has been a fantastic evening that we all enjoy, and we are happy of what is taking place.
We eat together.
Hey, welcome back. Watching in the upper room. What a fantastic segment that was. And let me tell you, she just blows my.
Yes.
Have you been a mother, or is it too much?
It's exciting. I have twin boys. Much, Melina.
Hello, and welcome to Melina Talk Show. Today I'm here with Fosia. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Melina.
Thank you for taking your time out and coming here and sit down and talk to us. So introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what's going on.
My name is Fauzia Nyabiosi. I work at Citibank. I have twin boys who are going to be 4 years old and a 10-year-old daughter. Yes.
Have you been a mother, or is it too much?
It's exciting. It's exciting, yes.
Okay. So any challenges being a mother?
Of course, the kids, managing work, family. Sometimes it can be a challenge, but it's fun.
Wow. So anyway, I know you're involved with Origin and.
Okay, I'm done with that. Oh man. Okay. Well, it seems like it's an old nonprofit that's no longer around anymore. But that's interesting how it was tied to Mr. Bowtie. All right. Okay, okay. All right. Let's leave it here today. I think I covered as much as I wanted to with everything. We got a little sidetracked with homelessness and how that is being affected, or how that is being, dealt with. So, yeah. All right, sweet. Thank you, Bashona in a Box. Have a good rest of your night. Everyone else, take care. Thank you for joining me. We will continue researching warehouses and homelessness and money being funneled who knows where. We're going to figure it out and shed some light on these things. So thank you for joining me today. My name is Angelina Tucci. It's been a pleasure. See y'all next week. Yeah. Peace out. Have a good one.
You're